at the Good Beans Cafe in Flint, Michigan. The Creative Alliance presents the Collab Nite Open Mic with our host, Mark Funnyman Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of the Collaboration Night here at the Good Beans Cafe. Yes, I am your host, the funny man, Mark Taylor. How's everybody doing out there? All right. So anyway, I'm kind of displaying one of my new shirts that I'm working on to get for my merchandise.
Turn around, look at the camera again on your picture. Let me get a severe close-up.
It don't have anything on it,
Okay.
on the back.
Funny man, Mark.
Yep. So as soon as I get like some ideas, because I got this from my aunt for Christmas. So anyway, welcome everybody. I am the funny man. Welcome to this collaboration night. We're gonna have a good time tonight. So don't be shy, don't be a chicken, or else you'll be a real cluck if you don't come up here. Yeah. So anyway, before I get started, I went to a zoo last summer, and they only had like one dog in there. It was a Shih Tzu. Oh, yeah. That was a little rough. I hope anybody didn't catch the tail end of that one. Anyway, what we're here to do is, all you gotta do is sign up. You come up and do your act. This ain't no gong show or anything like that. You come on out here like I am, and you have a good time doing whatever that you do. And so what is our first victim for this evening?
Gary Flinn.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Flint's very own historian, Mr. Gary Flinn.
Yay,
Thank you. Now, earlier this month, I was at Totem Books, where two local authors who wrote history books, including Larry Gustin, who wrote 3 books. One during the bicentennial year of 1976 called Picture History of Flint, another book about David Buick, and this book, by the way, got signed copies of all 3, called Billy Durant, Creator of General Motors. In fact, I picked up this book at Totem Books while Larry Gustin was there. And what I'm going to read was inspired by Gustin's appearance. In fact, you could call it a Cliff Notes version of the Billy Durant book. It's chapter 6 of my Hidden History of Flint book, which is available most anywhere, including the trunk of my car, with a cover price of $21.99.
Only $21.99?
Yes. And I also have my first book, which is also easily available, Remembering Flint, Michigan. That cover price is $19.99.
Only $19.99?
Yep. So here's the chapter, which I called Billy Durant, A Riches to Rags Story. The development of Flint into a major city can be credited to one man, William Crapo Durant, who ran the largest carriage company in the city and founded 2 car companies whose products are still being made today. A born salesman and wheeler dealer, Durant took major risks that led to big successes and eventually his downfall. Durant was the grandson of lumber baron and Michigan Governor Henry H. Crapo. He was born on December 8, 1861 in Boston to a banker who married one of Crapo's daughters, Rebecca. The marriage faltered, so Rebecca moved back to Flint with her 2 children. Following the death of her mother in 1875, Rebecca used her inheritance to buy a large home across from the then new Flint High School at the corner of Church and 2nd Streets. Durant dropped out of high school at age 17 in 1879 and went to work at the family lumber mill. Instead of getting an office or sales job, he was put to work stacking lumber for 75 cents a day. He supplemented his income by working as a clerk in a drugstore where patent medicine was produced. His interest in the medicine led to his giving up his mill and clerk jobs, and he began selling medicine to farmers around the area. Durant then turned to selling cigars for a local cigar maker, a born salesman. He was successful in selling the stogies, and the business expanded, or make that over-expanded, and lost money. Durant then worked for the local waterworks, where he made improvements that helped the utility business. He later went into real estate and construction. In 1885, Durant bought his own house and married Clara Miller Pitt. They had 2 children. In 1886, Durant took a ride in a horse-drawn, 2-wheeled road cart with a unique suspension that cushioned the bumps. It was made by the Coldwater Road Cart Company in Coldwater. Durant and J. Dallas Dorff bought the company and moved it to Flint, where it became the Flint Road Cart Company. In 1895, that company evolved into the Durant Door Carriage Company, which became the largest carriage company in the United States. In its peak year, 1906, it produced 56,000 vehicles. In 1904, Durant entered the motor vehicle business by taking over operations of the struggling Buick Motor Company and made it very successful. In 1908, Durant founded General Motors with Buick as a subsidiary of GM. Durant went on a buying spree, acquiring Oldsmobile of Lansing, Cadillac in Detroit, Oakland, which became Pontiac, various truck companies that merged into GMC, and numerous parts companies. He almost bought Ford, but couldn't get the financing. Also in 1908, Durant married a second wife, Catherine, after his divorce from Clara. In 1910, Durant found himself overextended, and the conservative Eastern bankers cut off additional financing during an economic downturn. Durant was forced to turn control of GM to the Eastern bankers to keep the company going and avoid bankruptcy. Undaunted, Durant began to lay the foundation for another car company. Durant acquired the Flint Wagon Works factories along West Kearsley Street and teamed up with noted race car driver Louis Chevrolet to form the Chevrolet Motor Company in 1911. Like David Buick had a few years before, Louis Chevrolet left the company following disputes with Durant, who wanted to compete with Ford with mass-market motor vehicles, while Louis Chevrolet desired to have his name on the line of luxury cars. The Chevrolet Motor Company became profitable, and that success allowed Durant to shake up the business world when the Chevrolet Company acquired control interest in GM, allowing Durant to take back control in 1916. This was a win-win for fast-growing Flint and the Chevrolet and GM stockholders, who suddenly became wealthy. Durant headed GM for 4 years before losing control of the company for the final time in 1920 during another economic downturn and losing a fortune trying to prop up GM's stock price. Durant lost control a few weeks before the landmark hotel bearing his name first opened. At the time Durant lost control, GM's new headquarters in Detroit was being built. It was first to be called the Durant Building, but it was renamed the General Motors Building after Durant lost control. You can still see the letter D inscribed in places on the facade at what is now the Cadillac Square Building. GM vacated it for the Renaissance Center in 1996. But Durant would not give up, and he founded Durant Motors in 1921. The following year, Durant broke ground on a new factory along South Saginaw Street between Atherton and Hemp Hill Roads to build the Flint. The Flint was a brand that competed with Buick, one of several product lines Durant Motors produced. The Star was the low-end line to compete with Ford's Model T, and the Eagle was the next step up. The Durant competed with Chevrolet. The Princeton competed with Oldsmobile, and the Locomobile competed with Cadillac. Durant also made Mason trucks. But Durant's Flint plant proved too large for the volume of business, so it was sold for $4 million to GM. For years, it was known as Fisher Body Plant No. 1 and made bodies for Buick. Today, it is the site of the Great Lakes Technology Center. The plant's closing in 1987 was part of the basis for Michael Moore's documentary film, Roger and Me. The 1929 stock market crash and the resulting Great Depression were devastating for Durant Motors and for Billy Durant. Durant Motors folded in 1931, and Billy Durant declared bankruptcy in 1936, listing his debts at $914,231 and assets, his wardrobe, at $250. In 1940, Durant founded North Flint Recreation, a bowling alley not far from the Buick complex he had developed decades before. He had big plans for a scaled-down business, but must have pained his friends, and his foes relished the fact that the 79-year-old Durant, the man who made Flint a major automotive center, was running a bowling alley. GM President Alfred Sloan did give Durant and his second wife, Catherine, a small pension. Durant expanded his business by adding a restaurant, but time was running out on him. On October 2nd, 1942, Durant suffered a stroke at his room in the Durant Hotel. He spent a month and a half recuperating at Hurley Hospital before leaving Flint for the last time on December 15, 1942, for his New York City apartment. His health gradually declined, and he died on March 18, 1947, at age 85. He was buried at Woodlawn Cemetery in New York. In 1958, at the developing Flint Cultural Center, Durant Plaza was dedicated to his memory. It is located between the Sloan Museum and Whiting Auditorium. For further information about Billy Durant, read the book Billy Durant, Creator of General Motors by Lawrence R. Gustin. Now, before I wrap things up, I'd like to give a call out. Of course, Mark Funnyman Taylor, like myself, is a fan of the horror science fiction movie series Svengoolie, which is airing on MeTV around the country and aired locally on WGRT Channel 12.2 if you have a TV antenna, and is also available to cable TV subscribers on Comcast or Charter. But the reason I wanted to talk about is the next Svengoolie, this is going to be a good one, is Straight Jacket, starring Joan Crawford. And I posted this joke on the official Svengoolie Facebook page. And the joke is, what's scarier than Joan Crawford with an axe? Joan Crawford with a wire coat hanger.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because she used to beat her.
Yes, her daughter Christina it was the subject of the book Mommy Dearest.
Yeah.
And before I leave, I should mention that with warmer weather approaching, the book festivals are starting to emerge, and I'll be at the Flint Festival of Books, which will be Saturday, March 30th, at the Flint Farmers Market, along with other local authors. So I hope to see you there, and watch the Hidden History of Flint Facebook page for more news, along with any stories of local interest involving Flint or Flint history. And I thank you very much.
Haunted stories of Flint. You could do a whole book of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand one more time, please. You know, Gary, you were talking about cars earlier. Did you know that they're building a car now called a Rose Canarly? Yeah, it rolls on one side of the road and can hardly get out the other.
That was funny.
And I guess I can hardly figure that one out either. All right. To our next guest. Oh, before we get to that, you see what you have on Miss Jennie's hand right there? You can donate for the collaboration here, and you get like a frisbee and shirts
It's 10.
for $10.
There's 2 different kinds.
Like different solid shirts in there, and like a frisbee. It's really awesome because I have both of the shirts and the frisbee at my house.
Cool.
So anyway, let's get to our next act, please.
Ed Hanley.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage at this time, Mr. Ed Hanley.
here we are again. Last time I got fired, and that was awesome. I am back working again,
Sweet.
but I have not yet been paid.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So, good times. Let me see if I can get this thing working here.
I'm not hearing anything.
No, it's... So...
There we go.
So what I do is, weird.
Cool.
And, you know... How strong is the God's chain? How strong is the wolf? How strong is the wolf? The God's chain. And then was a wolf. pieces of the chain. Crunched under his feet. So there's a really old song called Mr. Sanity. That we used to do back in like way long ago. In saying so, he came to know me rightly. From the final tune. Thank you. child's head. How did you lose your body? The guillotine came and he couldn't catch me. Did you lose your body? They may have gotten you, but they couldn't catch me. How did you lose your body? Guillotine couldn't catch me. Guillotine couldn't catch me. The guillotine couldn't catch me.
Yay!
All right. So, just to let everybody know, we are a little bit live on Facebook, live for a little bit. And everybody say hi to everybody.
Right now,
Hi back. So anyway, I went to a dairy farm and I saw the most saddest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. There was a cow that was crying over spilt milk. Yeah. He was having a cow about it. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna continue on here. Miss Jennie, would you like to say who the next guest is?
Juanita Smith.
Please welcome Miss Juanita Smith.
As I said, it would make you right next. So that's good. Like pulling the tooth, just
Yeah, I ain't worried about that.
okay.
Just had one out yesterday.
Anybody that's out there in the area.
Haven't done this in like 25 years.
Oh, cool.
I'm just gonna read a poem by a Polish poet.
Oh,
I
great.
discovered it when I went to college back a very long time ago.
Cool.
But her name, I can't pronounce it, but I can read the poem, so.
Okay.
All right. So the title is Seen from Above. A dead beetle lies on the path through the field. 3 pairs of legs folded neatly on its belly. Instead of death's confusion, tidiness and order. The horror of this sight is moderate. Its scope is strictly local. From the wheatgrass to the mint, the grief is quarantined, the sky is blue. To preserve our peace of mind, animals die more shallowly. They aren't deceased, they're dead. They leave behind, we'd like to think, less feeling and less world. Departing, we suppose, from a state less tragic. Their meek souls never haunt us in the dark. They know their place. They show respect. And so the dead beetle on the path lies unmourned and shining in the sun. One glance at it will do for meditation. Clearly nothing much has happened to it. Important matters are reserved for us. For our life and our death. A death that always claims the right of way.
Give it up for her one more time, please. She was a poet, and she didn't even know it. Anyway, Miss Jennie was, I was gonna let you know, you guys can paint. Yes, you can paint. All you gotta do is come up to the canvas up there and paint till your heart desires. You can do like Bob Ross stuff or whatever that you want to do on there. I tried to paint, but I lost strokes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a colorful character myself, so. Okay. Back to our thing. So who is our next guest? Would you please welcome to the stage Miss Jennie Moench.
Okay. First off, I just want to mention that this is the Creative Alliance's Collab Nite open mic. And if you like this kind of Flint style open stage, where you can do poetry or music or whatever you want, or paint on a canvas, we have these every third Wednesday here at the Good Beans Cafe from 7 to 10. And then, if you like this, Buckham Gallery, Fine Arts Gallery, every first Friday has a very similar style open mic, and that's another Flint style open stage. And they also have a canvas, but there you're in a gallery that changes. The artwork changes every month, so it's really cool. And that's on Saginaw Street by 2nd, almost on the corner. It's kind of on 2nd still. And then at Golden Leaf, that is the oldest jazz club in Flint, I believe. Every Wednesday, they have an open mic, like later on, like 10, 11 o'clock, where you can get up on stage and play with their band. You can play music with their band, and that's a really fun thing. It's fun just to watch, too, because there's always good music up there. And that's every Wednesday at the Golden Leaf. If you don't know where that is, you have to ask somebody, because I doubt you'll find it easy. I don't know. Maybe it's online now. It's online. Isn't it Facebook? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. And then, while we're at it, 2 more things I want to plug is I have a new book out, near future. And I am having a book signing. I'm going to be at the April Ghouls Day at the Flint's Farmers Market, and that's going to be April 6th from 10 to 2:30, and that is a book show. So there'll be like a whole bunch of people there, and so I'm going to have my book there. And then on May 11th at Totem, Jeff Carey, if you know Jeff Carey, he's a writer too, and he just has a new book come out. He and I are going to be at Totem from 3 to 5. It's hard to read on this thing. Okay, but anyway, so I just had to plug my stuff, and I think I might be at one in Swartz Creek too soon, because they're having an art show, and they said I might be able to hawk my books there. But anyway, so and also you can go to lulu.com to get it if you want. And so I'm just going to read a little bit of the third story, but it's 5 short, near-future sci-fi stories, and then I'm just going to read the back of it to tell you, so you understand what kind of stories they are. Okay. I believe that too many of us are expecting a dystopian future, that this false narrative has become so embedded in our culture that we are causing it to happen. In my book of short, near-future stories, I explore a planet that took on the challenges of repairing a world that had been exploited almost to extinction, but for its human inhabitants pulling together and bringing the Earth back from the brink. We learn to embrace nature. We bring critical thinking to all grades of public education. A movement of citizen scientists becomes popular. We change our value system and come to the realization that we are all one people and we need to live as a community. All 5 of the stories take place in the same time period and originate from the same American city. I try to give the reader a glimpse into the world from the eyes of several different people, each accepting or rejecting emergent technologies as befitting their individual needs and personalities. But most of all, I like to think of the book as a conversation that the future might have with the present.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay, so in the third story, too far ahead here. I should have marked the page. In the third story, I revisited it and changed it, and then after I did the 5th story. So I'm going to read a little bit of the 3rd story, and it's about DNA. There's 5 stories, and each of them are separate. It's like I kind of go in and kind of visit with different people in this city, and in this case it's a group of scientists, and they work with DNA, and there's going to be words in here that I do not know how to say because I've only seen them written. So anyway, so you just gotta like pretend that I'm saying them right and don't get mad at me, okay? Okay, so this one is called, and this is the 3rd story, and it's called Unique Identifier. Jason Jeffries worked in a lab that specialized in helping parents-to-be avoid passing down their genetic deficiencies with harmful genetic mutations to future generations. The soft-spoken black man regularly eliminated spinal muscular atrophy and what used to be the second most common recessive disorder in humans that caused infant mortality. Nietzsche's disease, myotrophic dystrophy, and a long list of genetic disorders. The company he worked for was helping to eradicate many genetic disorders that were preventing people from having healthy babies that in time produced healthy babies. There was almost a godlike nobility to his work. He was able to stop the genetic curse in some family trees while avoiding others by correcting their future child's anomalies. Much of the work was automated, but there were still instances where he had to take a closer look into the regulatory sequences that act as a huge operating system for controlling the genome, or what we used to describe as junk DNA. This is the area that controls when their proteins are produced in nature. This is the area that stays unchanged and handed down from human to human for millions of years. But now Jay had the technology to make modifications that would in turn be handed down for the next million years. Yes, now we have become most proficient at playing God. The laboratory where he worked collected samples from physicians' office, then for a fee fixed the genetic anomalies. I cannot say that word. It was a very lucrative business. He had worked himself into a position of head of his department with several technicians under him. But today was destined to be a life-altering day for the scientist, because today Jay found something new, something hidden. In fact, it was a message, a string of proteins whose only function appeared to be representational, like a number. Something he would soon find out was a unique identifier. And one more, I'm just going to say one more thing and then I'll get done. What I'm doing is I decided, because these only cost me like $5. Isn't that amazing? You can make things so cheap. And then I put a seal in here. I have this little embosser. So if anybody's interested in reading this book, let me know and I will give you a free copy. And all you have to do is when you're done reading it, give it to somebody else who wants to read it. And just keep passing it down. And if you want to buy one, they're like $10 on Lulu, and then I've got some in my car too. And if you wanted to do the project though, like I just said, just take a free book, just put your name at the top if you want. And then I just thought it'd be fun to watch the list of names, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to, or you can put messages in here, whatever. Just try not to deface it, I guess.
Give it up for her one more time. All right. Do we have any more guests?
Yeah. You ready? Tom Allen.
Would you please welcome Mr. Tom Allen to the stage?
Yay! Here we go. Oh, there he is.
Well, then take us through a little business.
Okay.
Is it like for me? Is that the deal? I mean, there's gonna be evidence against me for whatever I do here tonight. Okay, is there by any chance a plug extra one for this kind of?
You need to plug in, Tom?
Yeah, yeah, I got a cord, or maybe you got more cords.
Okay.
Just wanna go over here. Okay. Now I will tune this. How's everybody tonight?
Fine.
Fantastic.
Well, that's great. Fine and fantastic. Nobody else gets a vote, right? Well, I was really interested in that whole scientific thing. My dad was a plant physiologist, and
Uh-oh.
one of his graduate students became head of what's called the cereal rust lab at the University of Minnesota. There are certain rust fungi that affect cereal grains like wheat and rye and all that. And that's what my dad did, and his name was Bill Bushnell. So I visited once in his office, and he said, you know, used to be that we changed things by hybridizing. You know, we'd cross this one and cross that one, and a little bit of change would happen. And then they learned how to manipulate a gene one at a time, you know, very scientific, and so we get genetic modification. And he said, see that building right there? Funded by Cargill. They now have mammoth computers that can change thousands of genes in a few seconds. So, people who are advocating for organic food are up against that, and I don't know what the answer is. But it was just fantastic what you just said, Jennie, about not accepting a future of dystopia being handed to us.
Yes. We gotta visualize that good future and just start moving towards it, figuring out how to get there.
Not quite in tune, but close. Anyway. Okay, well, in a roundabout way, I think it's a tremendous theme what she just talked about. And, you know, artists are people who can make that happen, because what happens in the artistic process, you transform your reality. Something comes in, goes into a hopper of whatever your experience is, you do whatever you're painting or whatever art form it is, and out comes something different. And it can be totally down, it can be totally dystopian. There's a guy in town called John McLean who recently wrote a book called The Holocaust of Triggerization. He's talking about what has happened to the consciousness of black people by art that really goes down. He's not in favor of it, in case anyone wants to know. And I was part of the civil rights movement long ago, and there was very uplifting music going on there. So how do we get there? I don't know. But part of it is telling our truth, whether it's good or bad. And then to me, a big part of it is not to get dragged down by the worst of it. Anyway, this is a song about grieving. And I think grieving can be a health part of being healthy. People can get totally stuck in that. But it can be a great part of recovering ourselves. Instead of denying what we feel or feeling it really strongly and then go taking out on somebody else. We get lots of those in the news about what happens when somebody takes their pain out on somebody else. And the people who are trying to stop opioid deaths and all those others are working another end of it, is when you take it out on yourself or try to make the pain go away so much that you make yourself go away. So anyway, this is a song of grieving to God. My heart wants to break, and it's about the person who kind of feels something is really, really wrong, but they can't quite feel it. You know, not quite able to feel the pain. And the first line is, my heart wants to break, but it can't even ache. You know, it's like, and to me, there's something healthy about getting in touch with it, but not totally getting dragged down by it. So that's a long intro, I guess. And this, trying to get this to be exactly in tune, maybe an uphill deal, but anyway, here we go. Thank you. Now, one thing that's so great about these things is that they're so informal, you know, you don't have to have it totally all together. And this is a poem that I wrote quite a while ago, and I actually don't remember a couple of the words for it, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I think you'll get it. And crashing and burning is part of what people are entitled to do in this, right? Okay, so this is called Baby You Make My Hormones Flow, and it's just takes place in the winter like this, but also it's a little bit of a statement about the frailty of the male ego, which is when it wants to conquer and suppress somebody, especially a female, in this, you know, kind of predatory thing that we see a lot of. It's a form of weakness. Who was the great guy who said, a strong person doesn't have to hurt you. A strong person won't hurt you, won't try to hurt you, doesn't have to hurt you. A weak person will try to hurt you. I like that, James Towson. Anyway, so this, I'm gonna carry my guitar in my hands and not use it. So it goes like this. Baby, you make my hormones flow, you really make those juices go, you make my sunshine in the snow, so let's make whoopee. Wouldn't you like to come and see? Come on over and come with me, come on over and come with me, and come on over and come. I'm really afraid down in my heart that you'll reject me when I start to feel and show I really care for your soul, your eyes, your hands, your hair. I've been hurt so bad before, I don't want to hurt like that no more. The pain is coming out so fast, it trips me up as it travels past. Fear and hate of women both, I'm condemned by my very oath. I'm in for a shot of painful growth, and that's as it should be. I'm learning about as fast as I can, so take me once more by the hand. Please don't hit me with the frying pan, and let's go dance the night away. Then to share with you and vie with you, vie with you that I give thee as much as you have given me. Bless your soul, my heart of gold, you have touched a living tree. Thank you very much. By the way, May 17th, which is also happens to be Norwegian Independence Day, I guess, for whatever relation that has. Not very much, probably. But anyway, a guy named Jeremy Facknitz and I are going to do a show together here. And he grew up in this area in Holly and lives in Colorado Springs now with his wife and 2 kids and stuff. And I came here to hear him once and got his CD, and about 6 months later, I listened to it for the heck of it, and I thought, this is great. So we had a conversation that started up. I ended up going out to Colorado and playing a gig with him out there when I was touring out there. So we're going to do this together on May 17th. So I certainly hope you'll be here on May 17th, Friday night, at the Good Beans Coffee House. Tom Allen and Jeremy Fackness. Have a great night, everybody.
I tell you what, guys, comedy, it's in my blood. I wish it was in my act. Anyway, who's next on the list?
Well, I was gonna say, tell them to sign up.
Oh, if you guys haven't signed up yet, please sign up. Oh, and another thing, on Monday night at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock.
6 o'clock on Mondays, channel Comcast 17.
Yes, on channel 17. They always show us on here on channel 17.
Flint Underground.
On the Flint Underground, yes.
Show hour from 7 or from 6 to 7.
So tune in if you get a chance to. It's on Comcast channel 17.
And it's on the Flint Underground YouTube channel.
Yep, and also if you want to see past Flint Underground's or past shows of the open mic night, you just go to the Flint Underground on YouTube, and there you go.
Cool.
So anyway, that way I did my little plugs there. We are going to go to our next person, whoever that is.
Julie Reid.
Julie Reid, please come up to the stage.
That's totally my fault.
Don't go too far, Dan.
Just sit right here.
Plug in.
There you go. Ah. Hi, everybody.
Try.
I'm gonna sing for you.
Okay, cool.
Oh, the case is in the way. It's alright.
There it is. Okay, so just hold on a second.
Oh.
Just let it keep playing.
We'll start it over.
In a minute.
Perfect. Is a love so fragile and a heart so hollow, shattered with words impossible to follow? You saying I'm fragile, trying not to be. I search only for something I can't see. I had my own life.
Great.
Thank you. Next. Oh.
Give it up for her one more time, please. Who's next on the list?
Daniel Pender.
Daniel Pender, please come to the stage.
Just gotta get something from the car.
Guitar.
Okay. Well, I'm just give us a few jokes. More
Oh, here he comes.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
was
it.
running away.
Oh.
Oh, but while he's getting ready, did you hear about the guitarist and the violinist going on a date? There was no strings attached. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you hear Yo-Yo Ma's gonna be at the Burson Fieldhouse on February 28th?
Yo-Yo Ma, that's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
Yeah.
That's besides Exoc Perman. Yeah. I hadn't heard from him in a long time either.
Alright. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Pretty halfway decent.
Very nice.
How you doing, Dan?
Good. This is a song by The Replacements. It's called If Only You Were Lonely. Whoop. Walked out of work and I was tired as hell. Another day come and gone, oh well. Somewhere there's a drink, my name on it. Well, I ordered scotch as I bust through them doors. I'm too nervous. It's been so long. You just bear with me
You're doing
here.
great. You're doing wonderful.
Sounded good.
Well, I'm only planning on doing 2 songs, so I think I get a mulligan. Alright. I walked out of work and I was tired as hell. Another day come and gone, oh well. And somewhere there's a drink, a name on it. Well, I ordered a scotch as I bust through them doors. Spilled half on my jeans, the other half on the floor. And I saw you sitting by that video game. Well, I ain't very good, but I get practice by myself. Forgot my one line, so I just said what I felt. If only you were lonely. If only you were lonely too. If only you were lonely, I'd go home with you. 20 push-ups this morning, that was half of my goal. Tonight I'll be doing pull-ups on the toilet bowl. And somewhere, somebody throwing up. Broke the seal to my door and then I pulled myself to bed. A whirlpool spinning around in my head. Somewhere on my breath, on my mind. Now I keep dreaming of that smile without a care in the world. If only you were lonely. If only you were lonely too. If only you were lonely, I'd go home with you. I walked out of that kitchen, I was tired as hell. Another day's here, oh well. And somewhere there's a smile, my name on it. Sounds better in my bedroom, honestly. Don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I'll shiver the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines, where the sun don't ever play today, and I guess I didn't learn them all the way.
No, that was good.
Thank you.
Oh, you are gonna play. Great. We need somebody. Oh, thank you.
Good job, good job.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get a frisbee.
Good job to him too. Anyway, who is our next victim?
Matt D.
Would you please welcome Matt D to the stage?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Greetings and salutations.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I almost didn't come up tonight. I don't have a whole lot of new stuff, a lot of old stuff,
Well, you do that really
and
good.
some disingenuous stuff. But here I am. I don't know. I just came back to Flint. The city's changed a lot. I'm still trying to find my place in it, find my voice in it. So inspiration's been coming a little fewer and far between. I don't know. I wrote some stuff for Valentine's Day. Just kind of came by necessity. Here, Valentine's Day themed poems. In moments of chemical passion, soft bodies dripping with truth, words measure time in forms of moments and breath, sweating emotion and biology for only a mate to see, every scar making a map of our resiliency, and every trauma a collection bearing the litany of our intentions, where we name our love. That love is the sound of our pulse and the sum of our efforts. It's the shape of our waters. Simple. Here's another one. Two particles split by mitosis, watching polarities in a universal tongue. Immune to space, inseparable directions, inexplicable lives sharing a pulse. Greater still, written in the same coding, interchanging evolutions, constantly rewriting, adapting, coexisting, synchronizing. Two lives in one symphony, proving the futility of questioning that which the presence proves atomically, that the place isolation, it's in that place isolation makes an enemy of gravity, for reaching for a cellular consistency where feelings can be explained mathematically, leading to a cosmic point of view, being entangled with you. And I wrote those for people I don't even love. I need a shot of whiskey. Well, I don't know. I don't have much in the way of poetry or inspiration. I've been looking for inspiration lately, and if there's anybody else looking for the same thing, I'm going to go with something that I didn't even write, but it's going to feel good to read, and I hope it feels good to hear. Okay? Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant, for they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are a vexation to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years,
gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. And do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in this noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful and strive to be happy. That was written by Max Ehrman, and I've been reading it a lot lately, just trying to get my shit together. Yeah. I still believe in Flint. I still love this place. I'm so glad I live here at the end of the day. And, yeah. I could go one more. Do you want one more, or do you want me off the stage?
One more.
All right. This is one I did right, okay? And I've read it here before, but whatever, I got nothing new. Imagine that. I'm a little more alive than I thought I'd be at this age. I don't have a name for it. Every year that's passed, I came to this world a screaming little monkey, and now I'm a collection. Call me a filter. I step outside of sober, feeling like an author, and you just can't make this shit up. I can make pain, I can make smiles, I can make choices I'm not sure of, and the ripples will go on for miles. Haven't you ever heard of the best you could? You can always walk away from regret, but you'll always carry a reason for hurt. Making my place in life, the world's freest prisoner, inside of myself, where there are no answers, save for the ones you have to share. So when this weathered old memory machine believes it's seen it all before, you're reminded by the gods, wherever there's change, there can always be more.
Good job, man.
Way to go!
Matt D, ladies and gentlemen. So who do we got left?
Actually, there's no one else on the list, unless there's somebody out there that wants to
Well.
go up, but they haven't signed up. If they're interested, they should do it now, so there's somebody left.
Well, would you like me to do some comedy?
Oh, yeah.
I could also do something else to pass the time to as well.
Okay, cool. We'll
Or
do your
similar-
comedy.
Similarly.
So there's these two baggots, there's a couple that goes to a zoo, and there's these two baggots that are laying on the floor of a cage. So they walk up to the zookeeper and they ask, "How come there are two baggots laying on the floor in a cage?" The zookeeper turns around and says, "Well, they're inbred in captivity."
Bags of bread.
Yeah. I should have done like a bad French accent, but
Oh, baguettes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
we monsieur. So anyway, another joke that I have is a really good one. So there's these two guys talking, and one says to the other, "I was watching a woodworking show on TV." The other guy says, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, you wouldn't believe what I saw."
That's great. Wow.
I'm glad that I saw that. Yeah. So, did you hear about the frog that died because he croaked?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he had to hop to it.
Yeah.
So, let me think. Usually I don't. Usually I have my stuff prepared, but all right. So, did you know that in England they don't have kidney banks, but they have Liverpool?
I bet they have an armory too.
Yeah, I should tell that to Paul McCartney whenever I see him. Anyway, so do you know where boats go when they're sick? They go to the dock. Yeah. No wonder why you get seasick. Yeah. So there's a magician that walks into a bar. The bartender disappears. Yeah, he did a disappearing trick.
That's great.
I seen a horse at the bar. I asked him why the long face. So, let me think of one more. Oh yeah. So, there's these two farmer guys talking, and one says to the other, "Hey, guess what? I got married 2 weeks ago." The other farmer says, "Well, congratulations. How did you find her?" He said, "Oh, I tracked her down."
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Stalker joke.
Yeah. I had a farm that went in. So, anyway, those are my jokes for tonight. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you. Quit egging me on here. I'm gonna crack some more jokes here later. I'm kidding. So did you say you had some more stuff that you wanted to say?
Sure.
All right.